Yeah, how's it going? So I just wanted to get kind of stuck into this video tonight. I've got a dentist appointment first thing tomorrow, and I was just kind of thinking, what if I can't like talk properly for a good while and my day's messed up? So I thought I'll just do this tonight. Got the house all free to myself. Yeah. Um, so we've seen a lot of movement in the market now, right? With the season kicking off, all that. I saw the leagues up and firing now, and now what we're in a kind of state of at the moment is, if you were around here last year, you'll know exactly what I mean. But after like 2 or 3 months of the season went by, a few players really emerged out of the crowd, and really went on and was seen for different periods of time as being like, oh, this player's going to be amazing value on Football Index. He's doing great. He's been linked to Barca. This has happened, and all that type of stuff. And the market has grown so significantly since this time last year. When you think about like last December, I think when it first came out, was that Bayern wanted to buy Callum Hudson-Odoi, and other guys like João Philippe as well, the other guy who's still at Benfica. Jovic scored 5 goals in a game or 6 goals or something crazy. The market really moved quickly on these emerging players as they were properly announced and stood on the floor and went, I'm having a great season this year. And then they actually carried them on from there. You had this similar kind of thing in the World Cup, but the World Cup's a lot more condensed, obviously, and it's the strategy and the psychology behind trades in the World Cup are different. But with the season, it will pan out the exact same again. Difference being, this time last year, the footy was not 118,000. It was probably 40,000, maybe 30. I opened my account 18 months ago, and the footy was 13,000 when I opened my account. So the growth has been incredible. And as long as you're being sensible, guys, and we're going to go into some stuff in a second, sorry, but it is relatively difficult to lose money on Football Index if you are new around here and you're just watching this video by chance. And for you guys that have been trading for a while, you'll totally get what I mean, and I don't need to explain that in any detail for you. So what I'm going to look at throughout the video, right, is the type of players that you need to be watching out for, and the sort of situations that might arise, and different bits and pieces throughout the season. And guys like Teji Savernier last season, he was one of those guys that just went on a crazy run of PBs and did really well for himself. So we've made a wee list of a few players we're going to talk through, okay? Now the first one is a guy who you'll be very familiar with, and his name is Ruben Neves, okay? Now Ruben Neves gets a QV score of 84, okay? Now he's had a really good start to the season. I totally understand. I know he spiked his falsely scored a goal or did something in the game. Yeah, the Man U game, I think it was. But he has been on a general decline. You know what I mean? He's moving downwards in price. The guy is, he's just done so amazing. And when you think about the rise that guys like Maddison has had, also De Bruyne as well. De Bruyne's came from £2.50 really and shot all the way up. Also, he's a bigger name and he's got more about him and everything. But when you consider other players that are in the Premier League, and also he's going to be playing, it looks like it, Europa League football this year. And this guy has got abundance of talent, as we know, and his passing stats are incredible. I was looking through a bunch of stats for this kind of thing, and when I looked at Neves, and this is what I'm kind of looking for now in terms of any purchases that I might make, is those players that are kind of bubbling under the surface. So they've played well, but it's not really been totally acknowledged on the index yet, or really no one big has come in and backed it. But Neves, we're speaking a lot about variety of passing. He's made the most passes in this Burnley draw, right? And you can see the stats here for yourself. You don't need me to tell you what's on the screen. But look at that. 15 accurate long balls. That is absolutely insane. I don't know what his PB scores were. I've not actually went on Index Game to check it out. By the way, I very rarely use Index Game. I don't have a computer or a laptop or anything like that I would even think I've got the temperament to try and turn on, to be honest with you, which is one of the main reasons the videos are recorded the way they are, to be truthful. And I will use it on my browser on my phone now and again, but it's not the easiest to use, so anyway, I digress. 15 accurate long balls, that is incredible. 2 key passes, he can take a corner or two, and then even when you look at the defensive stuff, 5 recoveries, tackles attempted and succeeded 100%. Aerial duels 1. He's got 1. He's lost 2, but he's involved in headers and that type of thing. And he's got a big score bubbling in him. He's European. He'll be playing for the Portugal team. He played in the semi-final of the Nations League. Didn't play the final because Portugal went for two defensive midfielders against the Dutch team. Guys like De Jong and Van de Beek and these other guys that are high off the Champions League run. So that's just a strategy. When you're playing 4-4-2, you can only have two centre mids, and if that's what they've done, that's what they've done. But this guy's got links to Man United in him. This guy's got links to Juventus in him. This guy has got links to he's got the big agent and playing good at Wolves. And if they go on, it's Nuno Espirito Santos is something I'll tell you if you're not aware, is like a cup coach, right? I'm pretty sure he won the cup with Valencia in Spain. I know he got to a cup final in Portugal with a Minnow Rio Ave against Benfica, and he will take that. He will take the Europa League proper seriously. And if Wolves got to the quarters or the semis or even further, who knows? It wouldn't overly surprise me, if they would have to sacrifice Premier League form, you would expect, but it wouldn't surprise me at all. And they've got the talent to do it. They've got the firepower behind them. It's such a well-built squad, and he's going to be one of the primary beneficiaries. Obviously, Moutinho has got it in him to, pull some PB out or whatever, but Moutinho's at the end of his career, and when you're thinking about Planet Index, that's not as appealing to somebody who's at the very beginning of their career and their stardom. And pedigree we spoke about in the last video, but he's already played in the Champions League. He's already been captain of Porto and Portugal under 21s and all that type of thing. So yeah, he's the type of player that could really take the Premier League by storm. The other Premier League player I had as well is Sean Longstaff. Okay, now his form hasn't quite been there at the beginning of this season, but neither is Newcastle's. And over the next 30 days, they have got two what Newcastle fans would call optimistic fixtures, probably. One of them is Brighton, and the other one is I forget. You can go and look, but they've got two good fixtures in the next 30 days. If he was to do well enough and maybe an injury or two elsewhere, the next international break, could he even just be linked with an England place? That is only going to do his price positive movement. When you consider Jack Grealish is 202 or something like that now, Sean Longstaff is just not as media friendly as Jack Grealish, because he's a Jack the Lad, excuse the joke. But again, this guy's only a couple of good performances away from, say when you consider, I love Phil Foden, but when you consider the price he is in Greenwood and these guys, fair enough they're at big teams, but this guy's vastly underpriced, because we've seen good PB scores out in last season, and now with the Matrix altered the way it is for passing players, if once he plays well, you might see a good earner there for you, a good performer. And with him being English, 84, QV, he's not got a lot going wrong from just that history of the injury, of course. The other player we had as well, we've went through a few leagues and stuff like that, right? But the next one, I just wanted to throw this one out here. The obvious one is Habib Diallo, right? But also in this team is Ibrahim Nian, right? Now, he went to the Under-20 World Cup, or one of the youth championships anyway, and he scored like 6 or 7 goals. He did really well. In Metz's promotion season from League 2 to Ligue 1, he scored 10 goals and made 1 official assist. It's really hard to get stats for that league, so I'm sure you're aware. I don't know why this wee bubble thing is still expanded. Can I close that? Yeah, there we go. But again, at the age he's at 64 pence as well. He's got a QV of 66 off the top of my head. The exact same as his teammate Habib Diallo, by the way, who's 24, he's much more likely to return your IPDs because he is older, he's more experienced. He scored 25 goals last year with, I think, 5 official assists. So they're both really good, but Diallo's like 50% more expensive than Nian, and Nian is a lot cheaper. So that might be somebody who, you just need a goal or two in a month. He doesn't need to score anything amazing, but if he scores in 2 games in a row, he's not going to be anywhere near 60 pence for a long time again. So, and again, at QV 66, that kind of, the rating, if you go and check the video and the definitions, that's pretty much in line with what that rating's for. It's a player like that. Another one as well, is somebody who I've held before, and I'm a big fan of as well, but it's Ibrahim Sangaré. Okay, now he's went backwards in price really since I sold him, which is always not a nice thing to see, in case you guys are holding him, of course, but as a trader, you like to think you've got out at the best possible time. Okay, now again, like Neves, Sangaré has had a few close calls with some good PB scores, and again, I've watched him on days. I've not went back and checked and catalogued. His PB was 132 or 109 or 92 or 89 or whatever, right? But when you look at the games he's played, right, look at the Dijon match. Quite a tight game and whatever. I think this is the game I'm thinking of. He played 7.6, it probably is. A lot of tackles, as you can see. Passing is decent enough. 2 chances created. Okay, he is a defensive midfielder. Doesn't really shoot, as you can see. Um, Accurate long balls. Do you know what? If both of them come off, that's another couple of points to his score. Key passes are there. Touches are there. Duels. So he's getting involved in tackles and that type of thing. 2 dribbles attempted and succeeded, which for a defensive mid is a good stat. Tackles, as you can see there, that's all good. Aerials lost. This is the one for me, right? Lost 3 aerials. If he wins all 3 of those aerials, then that is another, I forget what it is for a header, but it's another bunch of points as well. Sorry, guys. I just know the sentiment I'm trying to push for. I'm not saying you buy Singer, I'm not telling you to buy any of these people, but it's the sentiment of what I'm explaining. It's the thing that you need to find in the market for something you're comfortable with at a price and opportunity, time scale, all the stuff we're talking highlight about, you know. And that's the kind of thing, as I say, that is really close to potentially being a 170 score, you know. And again, because they've just been pumped off PSG, I think his stats weren't too bad. They weren't great. I have looked at this. Don't think there was any real positive to take out of it, if I'm being truthful. Whereas I get booked as well. But passing, only 27 passes. Also against PSG, they're not going to have much of the ball. Yeah, Jules is involved in more. It's still 50-50 ratio. A couple of clearances. Dribbles, it's attempted and succeeded. That's a good stat again. The tackles are good, and he's won a couple more aerials, which is nice, and recoveries, 10 recoveries. So even though he's a 6.6 rating, his PB probably wasn't actually too bad that day. Yeah. So, and then when I was kind of, my mind was wandering, and then I thought, oh, I've got 2 from England and 2 from France. And then I knew straight away another person I could talk about very easily is Joseph Brecalo, okay, or Bricalo. Now, this guy did really well in the summer, and he did peak out and then dip back down again. And I thought that could be, with Wolfsburg being in Europe, if he does play for them, he could be a sneaky one. And he's went on, he's done very well, as you can see. I think he scored or something the other week, but again, at his age, his pedigree is Croatian. Wolfsburg have got a good reputation of producing players as well. You know, De Bruyne played at Wolfsburg, so did Dzeko. You know, they've always had decent enough players floating about their team. Wolfsburg will kind of know that an attacking, they've always been attacking as well. And on a little side note, by the way, I got a lot of tweets because I'm quite back in Leipzig. I had people telling me like, oh, Leipzig are the most hated team in Germany and all that, and you know, number one, who cares? But see, when Wolfsburg won the league before Leipzig were even on the scene, they were the most hated team because they're backed by VW, you know. And then when Hoffenheim, they get promoted into the Bundesliga, they've got a young billionaire guy. I think he's a computer giant or something. And he's from Hoffenheim, and he's done it sensibly. He's not just, you know, spunk tons of money all over the place. But and then they were hated for a while as well because it was artificially, you know, he's just came along being a billionaire from computers. Anyway, I digress. But there's more than one team in Germany that the Germans don't like in general. And Brecalo's PB score, I'm just going to check it, is 75. So he's a step up above these Ligue 1 players we've just spoke about. He is European. Whether he gets in the Croatia team or not is yet to be determined, really. But you know, it's not beyond Croatia to pick anyone who's in form. You know, they've got a lot of talent and a lot of aging talent. Guys like Perisic and whatever in those positions are kind of on their way out. Mandzukic plays wide at times. And they're in Europa League, so he gets points for that as well. And obviously the Bundesliga is better than the Ligue 1 on the rating that we use. The next one as well, the exact same score as Brecalo, so 75 or whatever I just said, is the boy Elvedi, okay, the wee centre back. Now, I like this guy a lot, and when I seen his name getting pumped about on Twitter and stuff like that, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really look into it too much. I was just busy with other things. And that's the thing about Football Index, is you really can't kick yourself. No one can expect you to know everything about everyone at all times. You know, you just can't do it. It's not possible. I did see his name floated about, so there's people out there, and I'm sure you'll be happy to take credit for it, because I would be. And he went and won PB already. And again, he's young, he's a Gladbach. And this is the type of centre-back that, if you can find them cheap enough, especially on the index, but even the prices at now, guys like him, guys like Denier, up-and-coming, young, strong, passing, quick intelligent centre-backs, delict types, you know, then when they leave their kind of, let's say, tier 2 or tier 3 team, like Gladbach or Lyon or something like that, then they are going to go to tier 1, you know, they're going to go to Liverpool, they're going to go to Barca, City, you know, Chelsea when their ban gets lifted. You know, there's a lot of places these guys can go at that age because of the way football has evolved, you know. And at 75 QV, or 76, whatever it was, Elvedi and Brecalo are 2 quality young little guys you could be keeping your eye on. And then I came to, I thought if we're talking about young, exciting players who could break out and do something amazing on the index, we have to talk quickly about Odegaard. Okay, now there's the Haaland guy. I'm still reserving judgment on because I've not seen him play football, point blank. I've seen these videos and whatever, but when Salzburg get into Europa League, I'll watch some or Champions League, I'll watch some highlights, proper highlights, and pay attention. And if they plays for Norway, I'll make sure I watch them. But playing in the typical Bundesliga, playing in the Norway league, and the under 21, he scored a lot of goals, but it was against like San Marino under 18s or something stupid. You know what I mean? Wasn't the Philippines, or it was something crazy. So I'm reserving judgment on him. But Odegaard has been there and done that, and he scores a QV of 84 or 86, I beg your pardon, because we give him points because he is at Real Madrid, technically, you know what I mean? When his season is finished with Sociedad, he will be at Real Madrid, that is it. So he gets points for that because, he walks into that team if he's doing well and he gets lucky, or he steps up a level like we think he could, then yeah, he's ready at the biggest team in the world on paper to some people. About 84 QV, and he's, it doesn't go for him this year that he's not in Europe with Sociedad, but just been able to concentrate. He's stepping up every year, and he's done well already. Match-winning goal, and he done great again. And at £2, when you've seen the prices, sorry, I made sure no phone calls were going to come in the video, and my dog just went and gave the game away. But at £1.99 now, if he continues to impress, and even if Zidane comes out with one little quote like, "Oh yeah, I'm watching him," or he does well for Norway qualify for the Euros, the guy's got a lot of movement in him, and he can really go to the top end of the index very easily. And then the other one, I didn't really want to pick anyone that was holding or anything like that, but the next one I got to was Guedes. Okay, now Guedes comes in at a 76 QV or a 74. Let me just check. A 74 because he's just turned 22 from being 21, and he's in Europa League, no. Oh, he is in Champions League, yeah. So it's just because his age just changed, just very recently, or actually it's not, it's going to change again quite soon, it's going to be 23. So he's 74 QV, he's just under that kind of top tier. But again, he's a player, he's been at PSG, he's been at Benfica, he's playing in Champions League for Valencia, he starts for Portugal with Ronaldo, and again Euros and all that type of thing, and at a cheaper price than Odegaard. That's why his QV is less, you know what I mean, because he has, he's got different negatives and different positives. Then he's got equally as much room really for growth if he did transfer to, if Real Madrid did buy him, or probably not Barca. I think they're overloaded in that end of the pitch now, but he could go back to PSG, could move to Bayern, they like to buy players now, or even the Premier League. There's a bunch of teams, West Ham, Chelsea, Arsenal, these types of clubs could easily come in for him. And yeah, so the whole point of the video, guys, is basically we're just trying to see. I'm just basically telling you ahead of time, like, you will notice young talent really emerging. We've kind of went through. If you look at the people who are rising now, the Brozovic's, Luis Alberto, I think even Weghorst is like 24, 25, yeah. They're all prime age players now that are starting to form, and some of them are younger, of course, but you're noticing more money is now coming back into that age range, for stable PB returns and growth. Pereiro, these guys, all pretty well. Okay, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, all that good stuff, and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.